First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to my dear friend Amy. She was willing to drive 53 miles one way to drop me off at Show Low Regional Airport. I found a cheap ticket that would get me from Show Low to Phoenix Sky Harbor, which would have saved me having to drive for 4 hours. Unfortunately, Mother Nature had other plans. We were having to deal with a heavy winter storm and they canceled my flight. This had something to do with the fact that Cessna airplanes are unable to take off in the high winds. This would have been my first time to fly out of Show Low and my first time to fly on Southern Airways Express. I spoke with a representative, and since they refused to refund my money due to acts of God, I now have a flight credit that expires 1 year from date of my flight. It's almost like the universe is speaking to me, telling me that I'm supposed to plan another vacation. The highway was icy and extremely slippery. Even though the speed limit is 65, I was probably driving under 30 miles per hour most of the time. I saw 2 semi-trucks that had slid off the road and I could feel my tires slip a few times. The flow of traffic came to a complete stop. I could see up ahead that there was an ambulance, a fire truck, and other emergency vehicles. It appeared that someone hadn't accounted for the horrible road conditions, and they had gotten in a pretty bad accident. I sat there somewhere between 45 minutes to an hour. While I waited, I wondered why the emergency vehicles were taking such a long time to clear the road. I would later learn that a woman who was involved in the accident had died. After almost 5 hours on the road, I made it to my hotel in Phoenix. I was pretty exhausted and wanted to nap, but instead, I met up with my dear friend LaDawn. I hadn't seen her since she'd visited me in October, so it was so good to meet up.
Okay, y'all, I made it to Phoenix. I'm with LaDawn. Wave. And I got the dogs. Lockwood. Cosmo and Lockwood.
Lockwood.
Say hi. Say hi.
We were hungry, so we braved the horrible Phoenix traffic and found a Chick-fil-A for dinner. We even bought some chicken nuggets for Cosmo and Lockwood. After all, it was the dog's birthday.
Can you smile at me? Hi, baby. Hi.
You just about jumped on top of me getting up there.
Yep.
You're a good boy.
I would have warned you if I thought I would. He doesn't do that to Aubrey, even.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Do you smell my doggy? You smell Reba?
Yeah, you will be friends someday. You're gonna meet him.
Someday.
It's gonna be awesome.
You can't have my Oreo. No, it's not for dogs. It's for humans. Are you a human? No, you're a cat. I can tell.
No, he's cat. Oh my goodness.
Wanderlust is a thing. That means that it's time once again to get away for a few weeks. I was preparing to return to Peru. I had such a great time this past November that I thought I'd visit and explore some more. The problem, however, is that this isn't the best time to visit Peru. Recently, numerous political demonstrations and even riots have been happening in the streets of Cusco and Lima, so much so that they've had to impose a curfew and bring in the military to patrol the streets. In January, they also had to close the airport so nobody could take off or land. A part of me wanted to purchase a ticket to Cusco anyway and hope for the best. Another part of me thought that I should find a beach house somewhere to enjoy the sun and the sand. All I knew was I had the entire month cleared and an itch to travel. What would you do? I decided that I'd go somewhere other than Peru. After a quick lunch at a restaurant called Blanco, it was time to board the first of 3 planes. Whenever I fly, my plan has usually been to get to my destination the cheapest way possible. One of my job perks is my ability to fly free or a lot cheaper than most. I tend to pay the full fare, only if I think there's a chance I won't get on the flight. When I fly with my benefits, I am flying space available. This means I only get a seat if that seat happens to be unpurchased or if that passenger doesn't show up for whatever reason. So sometimes it's a gamble. Once I boarded a plane for my commute flight home and a delayed passenger showed up at the very last minute. The flight crew had to page me over the intercom and ask me to get off the plane. As I share this next part, I ask that you try not to judge me too harshly. When I came up with my bucket list, I thought it would be cool to fly first class. I have been upgraded to business class a time or two, but that's mostly because I'm a flight attendant who happened to bring a gift for the flight crew. So I've always wondered, what would it be like to fly first class on purpose? Some of you have had this experience. Maybe this is how you always fly. I do not need the wine and dine lifestyle, but I do like to have new experiences. For this reason, I decided to check off bucket list item number 40 today. For the first time in my life, I bought a first-class round-trip ticket. You may ask, what are the benefits of spending so much money on a first-class ticket on American Airlines? The benefits I noticed: 1. Priority check-in at the ticket counter. 2. Priority boarding the plane. 3. Access to an outlet to charge my devices. 4. A drink before takeoff in a real glass. 5. Some warmed nuts before the meal. 6. A great meal that included use of real utensils. And 7. Haagen-Dazs ice cream. So my very first-class leg was truly a unique experience. I appreciated the fact that I can check this off of my bucket list, but I honestly didn't think it was enough of a reason to fork out the extra money. At least not until my second leg. This transatlantic flight on British Airways made me start to understand why some people like to fly first class.
And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on a tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Dragonfly.
My third and final leg of the journey was a quick one. Although food was served, I barely had enough time to enjoy it. I can't complain, however. The plane was about to land in the exact place I left my heart.